Hello and welcome to another episode of AndersMill Knits. We're your hosts. I am Emily, known as aka Millie907 on Instagram and aka Millie on Ravelry. And this is Watson. He just came to say hello, I guess. You saying hello? Do you have any idea what's happening? No? There we go, folks. The oven is cooling down and it makes a ticking noise apparently when it does, and he has to bark at it. Well, welcome to my tiny cabin and our new setup. I broke down and got rid of my big, huge, comfy chairs. They were just taking up all of the available space in my downstairs, and so I was like, well, I don't know what I really want. I just want space. So I just ended up getting a cheap Walmart futon, and I'm actually pretty okay with it. It has opened up everything so much. I've got like 5 feet in my living room. It's great. What else do I want to tell you about? It's been a while since we've chatted. It feels like a long time. Honestly, I think it's only 2 weeks, but it feels like a long time. And the lighting, oh, you know what? I should probably turn on some more lights. Pause for a minute, okay, guys? Because I just realized it's very dark outside, so it's probably very dark in here for you guys to see me. I don't know if that helped at all, but there you go. We got a little bit more light. I have lamps all over the place in here. So, you know, awkward pause. Well, it's been a couple weeks and it's been full of, as Amy Beth says, shenanigans. Let's see, one weekend I went up to Anchorage, and unfortunately, my mom's best friend's funeral. She passed away. Well, it's more of a memorial service, is what we attended. She wasn't there. The family had a private ceremony and buried her outside of the memorial service. But it was wonderful to see so many people show up. My mom's and Candy's old friend came down from the States, and I was like, wait a minute, is that who I think it is? Because my mom was a part of the program, and so were 2 other of Candy's really good friends. And one of them was this lady that I remember from my childhood, my parents being downstairs playing raucous rounds of cards with these 2 people. This husband and wife. I don't want to name names or anything like that, even though this is not a bad story. But anyway, so as a little like toddler and stuff, I can remember lying upstairs in my bed listening to my parents just laugh so hard, and just like I would be giggling in my bed just imagining them. And I do recall there would be probably a couple times where I think I even went downstairs or on the stairs to see what was going on, being curious and stuff. And so I was like, when she was talking, I was like, is that who I think it is? So after the ceremony, whatever you want to call it, I asked my sister Amy if that was who I thought it was, and sure enough, it was. And I was like, should we go up and reintroduce ourselves 30 odd years later? And Amy's like, I don't know that she'd recognize you. She'd probably think you're our mom. I'm like, I don't have wrinkles. If I do, they're cute ones. And yes, I am wearing glasses. Over Christmas break when I was in Anchorage, I was able to go see the optometrist. Turns out I have a pretty significant stigmatism. And I used to wear these sometimes it felt like my eyes got tired, and so I wore these just, you know, I think I just got them at Fred Meyer's or something like that, to drive, and sometimes just when my eyes got tired. I think I might have worn them on the podcast once, but it turns out they were nowhere near the strength that I needed. And boy, these things so help with, because apparently I also have night blindness. So these things really help with that. It's really great. However, it's such a change that I've been getting horrible headaches from it, but I'm trying. Slowly but surely, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to be wearing them all day, but I keep on feeling like that if I want to look at something, I actually need to lift my glasses up so I can look at something. Are you there? Are you there? When in actuality, I need my glasses on to see something better. Uh-oh. You okay, Bubba? Then right after that ceremony, Jeremy and I, we went out to lunch together, and then we did a little shopping in which he got some birthday presents for people, and I picked up a new puzzle for the family to work on. And we went straight to my parents' house and had a family get together, which was so fun. My nieces are so hilarious. And my nieces and I and Jeremy started working on the puzzle together. Man, they're talented. I was just journaling about this morning, about how talented my nieces are. I'm always so amazed at them. I have my one niece who's like, I think she's 10, but she just can see the puzzle. I don't know how to explain it, except for that she just sees one piece and she knows exactly where it goes. And she was just rocking through this thing. It was astounding, and I was sitting here struggling to get one little side done. And I don't know, maybe they've gotten it done since then because I haven't been back to the house, but who knows? They probably have it done. I'm gonna have to keep on investing in new puzzles, I think, because it's super fun. I really like it. Straight from there, we went to Jeremy's friend's house and had a good time. I didn't really know these people. I'd met them once before. Most of them I had never met. So at first it was kind of awkward. I was sitting there like, hi. And, but then, I don't know what got over me, but I was kind of like being not antisocial, but at the same time, it just seemed like I didn't have anything to contribute to the conversation. So I just started looking on Facebook Marketplace, and another lady there saw what I was looking at, and this whole conversation started about Facebook Marketplace, and we were just having a really fun time going through Facebook Marketplace and finding all the strange things that people post on there. Like, for instance, food. I mean, I guess it's the same as street food, but we were all talking about how awkward it is to buy food from people on Facebook. Don't know. I guess people do it, but I'm not gonna be one of them. And then we played some pretty raunchy games. I think it was Cards Against Humanity Pictionary style. Telephone Pictionary style. I'd never done that before. And yeah, it got pretty raunchy, but boy, did we have a lot of laughs. And then we finally got home about 1 a.m. So on that Saturday, I was, socializing from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. the next morning. It was a lot, but it was also really good. I met up with a lot of people at the memorial service that I'd lost track of, and it felt so good to say hi and get their hugs and smiles and catch up and talk about our memories of candy. It was just lovely. Then this last weekend that just passed, I went back to Anchorage again. However, there was an emergency back here in Kenai, so I got down over to Anchorage at about 8 o'clock, and then on Saturday, and then I found out about the emergency, and I was gonna leave again just drive back right after Jeremy and I had dinner that night, but Jeremy was like, no, it's too dangerous, you're too tired, you just worked 10 hours plus drove 3 hours. So I was like, all right, I'll wait till tomorrow. And then I was like, if I wait till tomorrow, I might as well do my grocery shopping in Anchorage, because then I'll save like $75. So that's what I did. And then I got back to here to Kenai and helped out with the emergency and being a support and things like that. And it was good. It was really good. Stressful, but good. So in that time, I completed some things. I've lost a project that I would love to show you, but I have no idea where it is, and I just spent over a half an hour looking for it. It must be back in Anchorage somewhere. That's right, it is. I left it at my parents' house. Darn it. I was like, where the heck is it? If only I could have remembered that earlier. I would have saved myself a half an hour of searching. However, I have finished some things up, but before we do that, I do want to remind you guys that we have some knit-alongs going on. We have the Year of 2020 sweaters, Year 2020 sweaters, something like that. Year of sweaters, something like that, in which you can finish your sweaters. And then we also have the 12 gift knit socks, a knit-along, and you can find all the details. Oh, what just happened? What did I do? I must have pushed a button. You can find all the details of that on our Ravelry group of 24 Days of Cheer. And so January is over this week on Friday the 31st. And so February, our designer is the Crazy Sock Lady. And I honestly don't know if she is offering any discounts or anything to her designs, or if she is just being our featured designer. I do like her stuff, and I've never knit any of her socks, so I am looking forward to that. I'll show you soon what I have been working on as far as my January socks by Sarah Stevens. I really have been enjoying them. It's been really great. I finished one of them in like a day and a half, so you know, that was nice. And then I just realized I didn't tell you something very, very important. At least to me. I started another podcast. This one is an audio podcast. It's called Little Cabin Knits. And at this moment, you can find it on most streaming services, including Apple Podcast. I think. No, I don't know if Stitcher has it, but I know Podcatcher has it. Spotify has it. Overcast has it. Lots of them have it. There's like 15 of them that have it right now. So I would love, it's a totally different experience for me to be talking and not be looking at you and making all these gestures. In fact, if I move, then I ruin, because I don't have a microphone. I actually ordered one. It came in today. I couldn't get to the post office to pick it up, so I wanted to use it to record my video one too, but I ended up getting a microphone because I didn't have one when I was recording my first episode, and I noticed that every single movement I made with holding my phone, you could hear it. And that really annoyed me, so we're trying to bypass that happening again. But I'm just saying a lot today. God. It's going to be the same kind of thing, except the segments are going to be called different things. Plus, I've added in at the end what I'm calling a time for Higa. Or, I'm sorry, I always say Higa in the American accent. Higa? A time for Higa. So, I'd like to encourage you to go over, have a listen, and please, like, I've never been one of those people to leave a review because I've never had the opportunity. But if you would love to, leave a review on Apple Podcast. I don't know of other formats that you can leave reviews for. Maybe Spotify? I mean, I feel like you should be able to. But I would love to hear your feedback. I'm going to be doing things like focusing on other crafting projects that can go on in my tiny little cabin, my little cabin. There's a lot of kinds of crafting that is prohibitive to me because of space limitations, and I've just been contemplating all the different things that I could be doing and want to do that don't take up all that space, and are potentially portable. So I'm gonna be looking into those things. One of them is cross stitch, and I'll show you what I'm gonna be casting on, looping on. I have no idea what you say, or starting, I guess, as far as my cross stitch pattern goes. I'm gonna be getting that one on the hoop. Sure, either tonight or tomorrow, or sometime this week. No pressure, Emily, no pressure. So please go and have a listen. Again, that's Little Cabin Knits. And let's see if I can, no, never mind, that would take too long. I was gonna show you my logo, but it's cute though. Yeah, I think that's about it. So don't forget, 12 gift knit socks, knit along. Year of 2020 sweater knit along. I am going to be focusing on my sweaters on my next episode of Little Cabin Knits. So there you go. And then we have, okay, yeah, Little Cabin Knits. And I think that is it. And spread the word, everybody. We have really exciting designers participating in this, and so we want to get the word out more. So let other people know, invite them to join in, send them the link to the Ravelry group. Make sure and include your hashtag of 12 gift knit socks whenever you post anything, whips or FOs, on Instagram. All right? Okay, speaking of FOs, let's get on into it. So case notes. I have actually 2.5 finished objects. One of them I have with me. One is at my parents' house because I apparently left it there last time I was there. And the other is on the big hands. I was about to say little hands. Big hands of my fella. So let's start with that, shall we? Here is a picture of Jeremy's hands in his fingerless mitts that I knit him. He loved the socks that I knit him for Christmas, and I had so much of that yarn left over that I think I even mentioned it to you on maybe the last podcast, I'm not sure, but I was like, I want to knit him some fingerless mittens. I was a little disappointed because he thought I was knitting him mittens, but I wanted to knit him fingerless mittens because I felt that they would be more useful to him. So I cast on the same number of stitches that I did for his socks, for his cuff, so 56 stitches, and I did the 1x1 rib, I think it's 1x1 rib, 3.5, I think, maybe it was just 3-inch cuff. Then I started the palm, did the thumb increases, and I did things a little differently with that because when I started working on the palm, I felt like the fabric was huge. I was like, this is way too big for him. Oh no, I've got too many stitches. So what I did instead of when I started the thumb increases, the gusset, I actually, when I started it, I knit 2 stitches and then did my first increase. And then before the 2 stitches before the end of the round, that's when I did my other increase. So normally, in most patterns, they have you knit 1 increase and then knit to the last stitch, increase, and then knit 1, right? In this one, I did it with 2 stitches, and I actually really, really liked how it turned out. I felt like the gusset started better, or more smoother or something. And I'm thinking I'm going to try that for myself on the next pair of mittens that I do for myself, or fingerless mittens, if the pattern allows. You know, if it's a colorwork one and it's not going to allow for me to do that, then I'm not going to do it. So, you know, it all just depends about the pattern. Sorry about the interruption. I got a phone call from my fella. Yeah, I'm goofy. Love struck. Yep. Oh, let's get my little co-host back up here. Don't be licking my face. That's not something we share with the world. No. Okay, so I finished the mittens for Jeremy. And then I finished a pair of socks as well. So I knit these crapola. Yet again, I do geek socks, ungeek socks. I'm just gonna go with that. I don't know what colorway they are, don't ask me, but they came in a 2-pack with, here's the leftover of one of them. That's what I have left. And it's a gradient stripe. So it started up here with the black and purple and faded into the brown and purple, and then just brown and gold. So did that on both. This was the one that I knit on double zeros, still on size, still with 60 stitches, so it was tough to get over my heel, but they are so comfortable. It's great. The yarn I still struggle with because of the way it's plied. It unplies quite quickly and easily, is a little bit rope-like when you're knitting with it. I'm trying to show you, but I'm not sure if I am really. But it does unply fairly easily. There, you can see a little bit there that it's unplying some. So I'm still knitting that other pair of socks for my sister. I maybe have knit a round, so I'm not going to show them to you. I do really want to get them off my needles. Bubba, no scratching. No scratching. He's got a little scratch on his cheek and he keeps itching at it. This is making it worse. So, but these are done. So I already have them in rotation. I wore them 2 days in a row. Lovely. Like it a lot. So those are good. So then what do I have in session, you might ask? Well, I have a hoe, because I have a half finished object. So, and this you have not seen before. I cast on I think it's the Little Bird pattern by Sarah Stevens. Materials. It does not tell you what the pattern is called. It's a pretty basic pattern that I bought. I mean, no, that is a lie. I am so sorry, because this is not a basic pattern. But the way it's designed on paper is pretty basic, she does not have like her logo on every page. She doesn't have the name of the pattern on every page, or a page even. So let's see if I can't find the pattern for you. Sarah Stevens. Let's go to, ooh, she just came out with a new sock, I think. Autumn Rising. She probably did not come up with it, and yet I did not see it. How I missed it, I don't know, but that would have been lovely to have knit. Where are the socks? Here they are. Little Bird Socks. I was right. It's called Little Bird Socks. And this is what her picture is. Sorry about the reflection. And here is my first sock all done. It's a little bit big on me. I could have knit the small, but that's all to the good. I think it'll fit my sister Amy a little bit better. So I'm thinking these might be another Amy socks. So here's it up close. I love this pattern. It was so fun to knit. I did a heel flap on this just as the pattern called for, and I really liked it. It was just a 1x1 rib, and then I started the second one and I've done the heel turn. I'm now on the heel gusset, so it's at a very awkward place for you. So in the pattern, she calls for you to do 1 repeat right here and then start the heel if you'd like. She gives you the option to keep knitting on it. So what I did is I just did 2 repeats, and I found that fit really comfortable, just right above my I don't know what you call it, the bump on your ankle bone, your ankle bone. And so it just sits right there, and it's been really lovely. It doesn't feel like it's gonna slip down, even though it is a little large on me. It doesn't seem to feel like it's going to, so that is a plus. I am knitting this out of the Mondim yarn, colorway 207, and it's just these speckles and stuff. Technically, my mom picked this colorway out for her, but now that I've knit the first sock, I think that this sock will be too large for her. Luckily, also though, I should have enough to knit Mom some ankle socks out of the leftovers, so I can get 2 pairs of socks out of 1 skein. which will be awesome. So I am really loving this. I intend to have this done by the 31st, so I need to get working on it some more. This weekend I didn't touch it one bit. I got really into another pattern that's an old project for me, but a good one. So I highly recommend this one. She writes the pattern in a little bit. It's very simple. I don't like the font she used. That's neither here nor there. But she does this thing where she separates out into paragraphs the different sizes. So it's not, she doesn't say, say a number of stitches for one size and then in parentheses say the other sizes. She literally separates out for each one the directions for each size. So it makes the pattern kind of a lot longer in length as far as printing it out goes. But, it's a lot easier to read, honestly, in that way. So I just have this being housed in the bag that I got in my Jimmy Beans advent calendar. Because I'm not sure why they would have sent me this to house an entire shawl. It's not going to work. It barely fits a pair of ankle socks. So, but it does fit it well enough, and I'm able to carry it around with no problem. It's actually taking up a whole lot less space in my bag. So there's pluses there. So let's see. Speaking of my being obsessed with my one pattern in particular, I picked back up the pattern I was knitting from Hohi Locatelli this last summer, the Suburban Wrap. Now, these papers have been really shoved around a lot, so they're very faded. But this was the one that I kind of went on that tangent about this summer, about like, oh, it's so easy, I can't believe I paid for it, blah, 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 blah. And then in the end, I was just like, you know what? Actually, I can understand why I paid for it, because she picked out these designs and put them, she was the one who thought to put them all together. And they are quite fun and honestly rather harmonious. So I knit, when last I was podcasting, I was here. That was this summer, and I hadn't knit anything until this weekend, and I knit all of that. So it was very nice. So this is a textured section, this is an eyelet section, this is a stripe section, and I just knit the first 2 rows of the lace section that's coming up, which will look like this, only in white this time. So I think I'm on section 8, which I believe there are 15 sections, so this is sort of halfway done. So I like it. And the great thing about this is I think that I can lengthen this if I feel like I need to. I don't see why I couldn't. Like, for instance, if I get to the final section and I don't feel like it's long enough, I can just repeat one of the sections in here and keep it going. So that's what I'm thinking, as long as I still have enough yarn. I mean, I have 3 skeins, for heaven's sake, so you would think I would have enough yarn. So what yarns am I using? I am using the Plucky Knitter colorway Move Over Darling. This was from her club that I was in 2014. And that is not it at all. That is very blue looking, and it's not blue. It's teal. It's more green teal than blue teal. And I'm not getting, it's just blue, 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 as far as I can tell. But then this one, the speckled one, which I'm really loving, which I'm more than halfway done with, well, about halfway gone, is Swift Yarns, and this is on her Tough Love sock. Fingering weight, it's of course superwash. Everything I own I feel like is superwash. The Folklore colorway, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. You know, I especially love it when I start knitting one of the blips of gold. That is super exciting to me. I love that. And there's been a few times, oh yeah, like right there, where the blips of gold kind of intermingle with some black or darker stuff. And oh, it's so gorgeous. Ugh. So let's see. Yeah, you see it there? Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? It's pretty. And finally, my white skein. Oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it. Let's see if I can find my wrap for that. I don't see it. It's from a mill in Washington. And I can't remember the name of the mill now. I got it like 2018, I want to say, when I went to Madrona. Oh, I want so much more of this. So I know I have more of this in my stash, and I'm going to be looking at that for future purchases. So if I can remember the name of it, I'll put it on the screen. If not, I apologize, and I'll try and figure it out before the next podcast. Okay? That's the best I can do. So that, oh, this is being knit on a Chiagu. It's not, yep, it's an interchangeable, and this is a US size 6 or 4mm. I'm not good at that conversion, so, but it's knitting up very nicely, and I really have been enjoying it. It was such a comfort knit this weekend. The only reason I stopped knitting on it is because I got to the lace section, and I just didn't feel like I had the brain capacity to knit on it, because I had some nightmares this weekend about, you know, some trauma from my past, and then I had some crises that I was dealing with as well up here. I don't want to say dealing with, because that kind of sounds like it's like a burden, because it definitely wasn't. I was very honored to be a support for my friend during that time. So, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I had the brain capacity to put into my to lace knitting, even though it was a simple lace knit, because it's a chart, and it takes me a lot more energy to read a chart than it does to read handwritten notes. So Diet Mountain Dew. Speaking of, things are going well with my diabetes. I'm getting amazing help. They've changed my insulin, and they are hopeful that I can progress to the point where I don't need insulin, especially when when it's warmer out and I'm able to get back into my training routine, and I'm eating a lot healthier. I made myself, it's great to live out in the country because you can't go to fast food, or because there's 2 fast food places. Okay, I guess there's 3 if you count Subway. There's 3 fast food places around the area that I drive through to come home, and at the same time, it's just so expensive. It's like 30 to 40% more expensive to go to those fast food places, McDonald's and Arby's, than it is to go to those same places in Anchorage. And honestly, I don't feel very good when I eat them, so I've just been staying away from them. He's so cute. I knit some more on my mother's socks. I have turned the heels on both of them, and I'm knitting now on the foot. I did my Fish Lips Kiss heel like I normally do. I did a shorter cuff for her, even though she said she wanted a longer cuff. I did about 4 inches, so that's 2 inches shorter than I usually do, just because right when I was doing the heels on these, or actually right before I did the heels on these, I knit that first sock, and I tried it on and I loved it so much. I was just thinking how much Mom would really like a shorter sock too. And so I was like, I'm gonna defy her. I'm not gonna do what she asked me to do. I'm 38 years old. I can do what I want. So I decided to go ahead and turn the heels. And you know what? It was really easy to do 2 at a time, because I just did one and ignored the other. And then when it's time for the other, I just did that one and ignored this one. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but like when I was doing it, I was like, why did I think this was gonna be so hard? It's a little fiddly, but it's not hard. The fiddly part is stopping me really from working on them because I could have these done in no time at all. Two things are keeping me from knitting on them. The yarn, not the yarn, the needle. I would like to change it out for a better needle. Preferably one that's a little longer. So this is I think this is a 40-inch cable. But for 2 at a time, I just feel like I want a little bit more room. And I don't know, the cable curls up like this. And this is after I soaked it in hot water and straightened it out before I cast on. And it's just been kind of annoying the way it's been curling up and around. I don't know. It's been annoying me a little bit. You know how I am. I always find a little something to be annoyed at with each project. Yeah. Then I did cast on my Jimmy Bean's wool advent calendar, but I didn't get very far. I knit the first clue and knit about 3 or 4 rows in the second clue, and that's about it, folks. So the first clue was with this gray lace mohair, and then the second clue brought in a singles fingering weight, this guy here, and it's lace. And as I've said, I don't exactly have the brain capacity to do lace right now. So it's obvious that this shawl I'm knitting from the bottom up. You know, normally with shawls we do like a tab construction, and we cast on with a tab, and then we start knitting from the neck down, or what we consider the neck down. This one, it's rare that I come across one that's knit from the bottom up. I'm guessing it's because there are so many stitches to cast on. It requires a little bit more effort to start that way. So that could be why I'm stalling out on it, because it did require a lot more effort. But did it really? I mean, if you're gonna knit, you're gonna knit. I don't know, but I just stalled out on it, and I'm okay with that. I had goals. I'm trying to be gentle with myself about the goals while still sticking to some very important ones, like for instance, finish 2 projects so you can cast on 1. I finished a pair of socks, and then I cast on Jeremy's mittens, but I also finished those, so I actually feel okay about it. And I felt like that was needed because it's so freaking cold. He was telling me today about how we got 18 inches in Girdwood today alone, and so they were, you know, calling for being careful about avalanches and stuff. We've had a lot of avalanches and rock slides along the highway, so, you know, it's a good call. I found an old pair of socks that I had started knitting for a friend that I had in Portland, and I have no intention of finishing them for him. We are out of touch. Honestly, I don't care where in the world he is or anything like that. We were only ever friends. But I had started knitting him these socks, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to finish these for Jeremy. I'm just making it up. I think I'm making it up. I'm pretty darn sure I'm making it up as I go along. It's knit out of Kenzie yarn from New Zealand. It is 50% New Zealand merino, 10% angora, 25% nylon, 10% alpaca, and 5% silk noils. And that is not the color. It is, that looks black to me. So if you're seeing black, that's not correct. It's a navy blue. And then the contrasting color is a gray. And I got this from a yarn shop in Bend, Oregon. And I was really loving knitting on them. So when I found them, I'm like, dude, why did I stop knitting on these? Probably because it looks like I had just started the heel flap. I wonder if I want to do a heel flap or if I want to tink back and do the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I wonder what Jeremy would like. I mean, I've been doing a lot of gussets lately. It feels like everything is a gusset. I know that's not true, but it feels like most of the things that I've been knitting on have been gussets, which is not true, like I just said. Just 2 of the mini socks that I have on the needles have been gussets, heel flap and gusset. So it's no big deal. But these are going to be so warm and cool. They'd be perfect. So I do want to finish these. Yeah, I just made this up. Just the striping I put in. And then I'm going to knit in contrasting the blue. And then, you know, matching for the other socks. So it's a 2x2 rib. It's more of a sport to DK, and I am knitting these on a US 2.5 or 3 millimeter. See, that doesn't make sense. So why would a US 6 be a 4 millimeter and a 2.5 be a 3 millimeter? Maybe I read the size wrong on the other one. I don't know. But that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to worry about it right now. If you guys have anything to say about it, you can comment below. So this is just in a super ugly bag that I got for free from somebody who knows. I tried to give this to my sister. My sister Kelsey, because she was complaining that she never has bags that are big enough for her crochet projects. So I was trying to give that to her, and she was like, no. So that's what it was in session, folks. So what have I got for acquisitions? I just got one thing, one package. I ordered this way before Christmas, and I actually only got it a week and a half ago. It took over a month to get it to me. So I ordered a bunch of skeins from Lolo Did It because I was really loving what I was seeing on their website. So I got 2 skeins of crisp apple strudel, 1 skein of Thrill of Hope, and 1 skein of Edelweiss. Sorry, I was just noticing the dates of when they dyed things up. So Edelweiss was dyed up on 10/28/19. The Thrill of Hope was dyed up on 12/20/19. And Crisp Apple Strudel wasn't dyed up until 1/9/20. That's why it took so long to get to me. So they did not say on their website that it was dyed to order. I had no idea. So I had actually planned on using Thrill of Hope for a Christmas present for Jeremy, and it just didn't get here in time. That's okay. He likes it. Wait, did I show this to him? I don't think I showed this to him. But I love the Crisp Apple Strudel and the Edelweiss. I'm actually thinking of putting those 2 together for something with a, you know, like a solid in between, even though this is not a solid, but something in between. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Why I got 2 skeins and not 3 so that I could knit a sweater? Don't ask me these very sensible questions. I have no answer for you. It was probably due to budgeting issues. So, you know, trying to save so I can buy myself a car, you know. Okay, now this is not something I bought recently. In fact, I probably bought it maybe a year ago. I'm not really positive when I bought it. I know I bought it from Craftsy when they were Craftsy and not Blueprint. But it is, I was thinking about these today and I really want to cast them on. So this is the Fox in the Snow mittens. It's the kit for them. And I really, this is why I was talking earlier about like, if the pattern allows for it, because I don't think this pattern is going to allow for me to do my new idea for the thumb gusset. But this is what it's by. The yarn is nothing spectacular. It's just Patton's Croy. And the colorways are, so we have Patton's Croy socks in colorway muslin. And then we have we have Patton's Croy Socks colorway Copper Colors. And that's obviously for the fox body. And the contrast is Patton's Croy Socks in coal. And this one actually is black. So there you go. I am thinking about casting these on because I love the mittens that I've been wearing them non-stop. The mittens that I finished up from Andrea Mowry. And I came across these. Actually, okay, to tell you the truth, I remembered that I had them and I went searching for them. And I was like, you know what? I'd really like to wear these. But I have to stick with my plan. So I have to finish another pair of socks or another project. No, I have to finish 2 projects before I can cast this on. So I have to be diligent and assiduous. I can do this, right? Well, folks, I think we're about done. Thank you so much for joining me tonight or this morning, wherever you may be, whatever time zone you are in. Thank you. Cheers to you. Take a swig of your tea or your Diet Mountain Dew. Diet Dr. Pepper is yummy too. It's good stuff. Very chemically. Yum. So, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of AndersMill Knits. Stay tuned. Next week I will put out another episode of Little Cabin Knits. I'd love for you guys to review. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Please share it. I'd love to get more viewers. You know, love it. Comment. I don't understand how people get viewers. I was thinking about that the other day. There's quite a few new podcasts to me that I am seeing, and one of them is actually literally a brand new podcast, and they have thousands of views. Now, I'm not looking to get up there like that. I would like to break over 100 once in a while. Oh, what? I'm just being self-conscious. Don't listen to Emily. I don't get my validation from number of views. Okay, maybe I do a little bit. But I'm trying not to. So, yeah. I don't know what to tell you there. I mean, because I don't want to be false with you at all. So, I would like to see a few more viewers. I would like to see more people participate in the 12 gift knit socks knit along. That would be awesome. So I don't know how people get the word out for their podcasts and their knit alongs. I just don't know how, I guess. If you have any suggestions or you want to coach me in any way about this, feel free. And now that I have said a pity party for Emily, I will wish you good night.